by C.S. Lewis, David Cornell, illustrator, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I went into the wardrobe. I was gone for hours. You said magic. Go and see for yourself. Why, Lucy? It's just a regular wardrobe. I can feel the back of it. Come, Lucy. You've had your fun. Lucy cries, Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. 1 week since visiting the professor, we were exploring the house. Goes into wardrobe, leaves open door a little, walks through fur coats. This must be enormous. Walks, enters secret forest. A half man, half deer, jots past, drops package. He says, are you human? I've never seen a daughter of Eve. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Thomas. How did you come into Narnia? You have come from the Wild West. If I would have studied geography when I was a fawn, it's summer there. It's always winter in Narnia. Thomas invites Lucy to tea. I shall not be able to stay long. Men's, monks, and game keeps books in his library. Now daughter of Eve, Thomas plays flute while Lucy's sitting in spinning chair at tea table. Thomas playing flute in front of a fire, disappears, comes back. Lucy in a trance. He keeps playing the flute. She wakes up Thomas. She wakes up. Thomas is crying. Mr. Thomas, what is the matter? Stop it at once. I'm crying because I'm a bad fawn. I'm in the pay of a white witch. She is the one who makes it always winter and never Christmas. I'm kidnapping you to take you to the white witch. I had orders from the white witch. Is if I ever find a human, I'm supposed to capture him or her and give her to the white witch. But you won't, Mr. Thomas. But she'll capture me, pluck out my beard, shave me, and turn me to stone. Do you know the way home, daughter of Eve? Holy Spirit is not going to leave me. I can ask the darkness to hide me. He can say he's a Hebrew, but even darkness, he can't hide from God. You can run from God, but you can't hide, Christian. The only thing that's going to save you is Jesus Christ. You knit me in my mother's womb. Your forgiveness, you're forgiven from your sins and will never be judged according to your sin. My message isn't my own, Psalms 139. I just looked at Jonah. Jonah went opposite direction to get away from the Lord. Only this good we have is Jesus Christ. He hoped going west he would escape the Lord. God caused a violent storm, fighting for their life. The desperate sail threw cargo overboard, started throwing things overboard. Where's the wisdom of Christ in this? How could he sleep at a time like this? Tell him to wake up and pray to his God. Casting lots, see which one offended their God. Jonah's a sleeping Christian. Wake up, lest we perish. Jesus Christ, you're sleeping on the boat. The disciples said, we're going to die. How could he sleep at a time like this, casting lots? Jesus Christ fulfilled all prophecy. What other time did they cast lots at cross? 4 questions. Who are you? Where are you from? What's your nationality? I worship the Lord. I was running away from the Lord. They were terrified when they heard this. What should we do to stop the storm? I'm a Hebrew from the land. I was running away from God. What should we do to stop this storm? Jonah became a sacrifice. They threw him overboard. tossed him overboard, threw me into sea. I know this storm, it's all my fault. Instead, sailors tries even harder to row the boat to shore. Stormy sea, too violent for them. Storm at sea, terrifying to sailors. 30-foot waves. Windy. Do you think God's angry? No. Violence. You got people crying out to the true Lord. Do you see Jonah crying out? No. They couldn't make it. They cried out to Jonah's God, not him. They said, don't let us die for this man's sin. Jesus Christ died for our sins. Don't make us die for this man's sins. Which one is going to die for this man's sin? Jesus Christ died for everyone. And don't make us responsible for his death. Who's going to stand in the gap? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ laid down his life for his family. Jesus Christ laid down his life for his friends. He's going to stand in the gap because it's not their fault. Don't look at me, not my fault. Got too many apps going here. You've set this storm up upon him for your own good reason. They threw him in. Storm stopped. At one, threw him in raging seas. Once we enter Garden of Eden, Michael rowed the boat ashore. Hallelujah, sister. Help trim the sand. Thank you. Let's get straight here. What's next? Instead, the sailor tried to row the boat harder. Don't hold us responsible for this man's sin, because it's not our fault. Every day, Adam is seeing God do wonderful things, but then man sinned, separates you from God. They are awestruck by God's great power. What did Paul do on the way to Damascus? Was blinded by light. The sailors prayed out to Jonah's God. Then Jonah prayed to God inside the fish. How far down into the depth are you going to go without praying to God? When you're in the belly of the fish, how low do you have to go before praying? If we were all in Garden of Eden, we wouldn't be surprised. No sin in Garden of Eden, perfect fellowship, work on obeying, sailors awestruck of God's power. Michael saw a double rainbow. God arranged a big fish to swallow Jonah. He was going the wrong way. God doesn't give up on people. You do. Instead of God banishing you, you get what you get. There is a sin unto death. Perfect love casts out fear. If you know God loves you, you won't be afraid. Obey. When you obey God, great things happen. Then Jonah prayed to the Lord inside the fish. Wasn't at church Sunday morning. I wonder if this fish bites ears off like Mike Tyson. I cried out to the Lord in great trouble from the world of the dead. Jonah saying, God threw me in the ocean depths. I sank down into the heart of the sea. Tuna tastes like chicken of the sea, buried between your wild, stormy waves, like David, like God, driving him away. He did to Adam because he sinned. If you live forever in sin, you'll forevermore be in sin. I sink beneath the waves. I was buried beneath your stormy waves. God told you to get up. David said some things. Just because he said it doesn't mean it's true. He chose to walk away. The waters closed in around me and seaweed wrapped around my head. Death was very near. Waters closed in around me. I wonder if it was wrapped around his mouth, his eyes. Jonah Sushi talking to God about it. I wonder if the seaweed is so low before he's swallowed, the Lord arranged a well to swallow him. Jonah became an appetizer, arrangements for the one who wants to run from God. Final day packing. That text went away, turned the comments back on. Then I said, "Oh Lord, you drove me from your presence." 12 people watching. What's he thinking about in the belly of the well? Visualize the temple of God. Here's Jonah. He's loving God inside a fish. I sank beneath the waves. Seaweed around my neck. If Jonah comes out burned by stomach acid, saw this guy bleached white, seaweed mixed around head, locked out of life in land of the dead. But you are Lord my God. Oh, now you're praying, save me from the yawning jaws of death. Do fish growl? Jonah's like, I see death, but you, O Lord, save me from the yawning jaws of death. God can do anything. He could have done a big fireball. This time, Jonah went to Nineveh. It took 3 days to see the city. For the first star of the day, show me where 40. Aaron, Noah, 40 days, 40 nights. Rachel, Christina, 40 days. Moses fasted twice for 40 days. Magical TikTok number 9. God allowing destruction, talking about demonology. If they can repeat things over and over as I hit my own like button because I feel like doing it, God was going to destroy Nineveh. Was he going to take out Egypt? Yes, he did with all those plagues. What he's doing, obeying. Where's Tony? Okay. Is that Jonah's message? 40 days and you'll be destroyed. Is that Jonah's message or God's? Long O name Jonah, obeying a big thing to God. That's God's message. You're protected as you give out the message, just like Daniel. The preacher that jumped into the lion ate you for dinner. Not here in America, somewhere else. That's God's message. Well, you're protected anyway. On day Jonah entered the city. 40 days from now, God will destroy the city. The people of Nineveh believed God's message and they were saved. That's what Rahab and the spies, she listened to Hebrews 11. God, she hid the spies because she believed in God. Sack, and it's a cloth. People of Nineveh believed in God, went without food and dressed in sackcloth. King of Nineveh, he took off his purple robe, fasted and wore sackcloth. Herod got worms and flesh, died a terrible death. Jonah, when he turned from the presence of God, what happened? Everyone must turn from evil ways and stop violence. I bet they are thinking about Egypt. Now it's Nineveh versus Hebrews. They knew this, stepped out right away. Looks like nothing's gonna change. Hi, Christina. He must have known about the fierce anger of God, probably heard about the firstborn Pharaoh's son being killed by death angel. King is true repentance. I don't want God taking my firstborn son. Took his clothes off, fasted. God saw, had mercy on them. This change of plans, Saul upset Jonah. Why? Is this the same guy that God saved him out of belly of the well? Humans are stupid. Jonah just taken out of the fish's belly. God preserved him. Average human, you've been saved from death. You asked for death. You got saved by a big fish. This is Jonah talking to God. Didn't I say before I left home you would do this? That's why I ran to Tarshish. Knew you were a caring and gracious God. Exodus 38. We were asking this yesterday, 38:1. Yesterday, craftsmen whom God has instructed furnished the tabernacle, 10 people watching, a holy app, and those gift of God, talking about tabernacle, isn't in wherever God said he's talking to Moses. Exodus 38:1. Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic? God is long-suffering and kind. When God talked to Moses on Mount Sinai, these change of plans, Jonah became very angry about. He complained to the Lord, God doesn't like that. You got a problem. Take it to the top. At least, he complained to the Lord, didn't go somewhere else or talk behind back. I knew how easily you could cancel your plans and just kill them now. Oh, just throw me overboard. Just kill me. Now, Lord, my life is over. Mr. Drama King, I'd rather be dead than alive. Why is everything ran by emotion? What did he say? Verse 12 of chapter 1. Throw me into the sea and it will be calm again. He could have got on knees and started praying. Mr. Drama King, it's all about me. Folks, I'm going overboard. I'm going out with a bang. I died. Good gravy. You got God asking, is it right to be angry with God? Jonah made shelter outside city to see if he will destroy the city. A timeout chair. I hate these people. These guys so full of self. Little gods have to have comfort. That's all the notes I got on that. Anyway, God bless. I'll be back in a few. I'll be back.